Hey guys, what is up? It's Dusty here, and welcome back to another crypto video. We just saw the Bitcoin price break out to the upside of our purported triangle. What the most interesting part is of today is that we're actually retesting right now the 200 EMA, and that if this momentum continues, if we continue making higher lows from right now on forward, this death cross is actually not going to come. And that, ladies and gentlemen, could be a ridiculously bullish thing. Even though I've said before that the death cross itself might be something which we should buy into, if it doesn't happen altogether, people have no bearish incentive, right? And that again means that the price from now on forward is going to go up. So the short term or yellow line prices are basically outperforming the longer term prices, meaning it's going to deviate. And this one, yellow, will go up a lot more significant than the red one will. Having said that, there's quite a lot that's going on right now, and here's a couple of articles. Again, only positive news today. We only have been hearing good stuff, and you really can't say anything otherwise because, well, look at Bitcoin. We are above $40,000. We even hit, let's see here, about $41,100 early today. 41,050 to be exact, as you can see there on the high. Now, President Suluhu Hassan directs Bank of Tanzania to prepare for digital currency. We don't want to be caught unawares or find out later that our citizens are ahead of us. What that basically refers to that the country themselves, they basically have said, you know what, we as the authority here should be prepared for digital currencies because, well, if all the civilians, the people are prepared for it, working with it, and we as higher ups are not, well, there's a little bit of a discrepancy, a little bit of a problem, right? And that's an approach which I believe that the US can really learn something from, of course, following El Salvador to a certain degree as well, that, well, you should be the one to put it up, basically. I'm not sure exactly how to phrase it. You should be the one who gets this going. You should be the one who educates the lower ground. And with the SEC specifically with this lawsuit against Ripple, many of us, including me, are questioning if exactly what they're trying to achieve or what they're trying to do is good for the people or not. And I firmly believe that this approach is really beautiful. Now, Bitcoin sell pressure may hit zero in July thanks to Grayscale's giant 16,000 Bitcoin unlocking. The biggest single unlocking day will flush sellers from the markets in July, opening up both volatility and bullish potential. To be honest, guys, I've been reading so many articles, and generally speaking here, the last day or so here has been ridiculously bullish for the people. And people are just really positive about crypto. Last, 14 maybe hours or so. Even though my comment section is filled with toxicity like crazy, I am seeing a difference in article narrative, basically. Like here, Microstrategy about to pump $500 million into Bitcoin after completing massive debt offering. We actually talked about this a little bit earlier already because we were prepared for something like this to occur. But let's quickly summarize these two articles. First of all here, institutional Bitcoin investors are in the spotlight as an upcoming major cash out date sparks talk of fresh price volatility. I get that. As noted by popular Twitter commentator Loomdart and others this week, attention is focusing on buyers and sellers of the Grayscale Bitcoin Trust as Bitcoin hovers near $40,000. And here they're saying that July means Bitcoin price volatility. Okay. A giant in the institutional space, GBTC, has over $24 billion in assets under management, and it's not available constantly, as per Cointelegraph. The trust operates with periodic closures, which this year have coincided with its buy-in price trading at a discount to spot price. This negative GBTC premium has formed a major talking point in its own right, as invested funds are locked up for a set period and then released, allowing investors to cash out at certain times depending on when exactly they bought in. A combination of negative premium relative to spot and a large unlocking of funds means that July will be particularly interesting for Bitcoin price action. Previously, such an alignment has meant increased volatility, and July 19th will see the biggest single unlocking day with 16,000 Bitcoin, or $627 million, to be released. And then again, they're saying here, bucking a declining trend. For a popular pseudonymous trader, Loomdart, this nonetheless provides a chance for Bitcoin selling pressure to stabilize afterward, paving the way for Bitcoin bulls to crush long-standing resistance lines. You guys realize we are already negating GBTC unlocks, and after the bulk of them are over, there's like 0 spot BTC sellers left, right? And this would form a refreshing counterpoint to the broadly bearish picture on institutional markets, with open interest in Bitcoin futures way down versus prior to May price dip to $30,000. On-chain analytics resource CryptoQuant noted that the decline in interest last week, something which in turn came in tandem with a dramatic decline in overall BTC transaction numbers, which is what you can see right in here. No, it's not in here actually. There's only the GBTC premium versus the market. All right. But I do find that really interesting. Why? Well, again, you can already see 13,000 people in 1 hour have looked this up. There's no more selling pressure in July, mostly on the basis that, well, why would they sell? They've gotten everything out of the way already, and GBTC has been a confirmation of that as, well, prior they used to act differently than they are most likely going to do right now. Then Microstrategy about to pump $500 million into Bitcoin. Microstrategy has completed its latest debt for Bitcoin offering. Microstrategy has already raised $500 million via senior secured notes due 2028, according to its June 14th press release. As reported by You Today, the business intelligence firm initially announced a $400 million debt to Bitcoin offering on June 7th, and then upped the ante to the above-mentioned $500 million. The net proceeds from the sale are $487.7 million that will be used to buy more Bitcoin. Presently, MicroStrategy holds about $4 billion or 92.08 thousand Bitcoin, and its recently formed Macrostrategy LLC subsidiary, which I thought was an interesting move. Earlier today, the largest cryptocurrency revised the pivotal $40,000 level following bullish comments made by billionaire Paul Tudor Jones, which I personally don't really care too much about. Let me actually bring him up back again. Paul Tudor Jones. Let's quickly see if there are still articles of it. There are, because it's about the inflation, which we were talking about yesterday, and there's one article on CNN. Hopefully I'll be able to find that too, because I read it a little bit early today. Let me quickly find it. Paul Tudor Jones. I typed in Paul. Typed in wrong Paul. Here we go. Oh, it's CNBC is what it is. Okay, all good. It's also CNBC. I had CNN in my head. Okay, here's how we go. So on CNBC, there's like 3, 4, whatever articles on Paul Tudor Jones like today. A lot of people are talking about it right now. Let's quickly go through it. Tudor Jones likes Bitcoin, calls it a great portfolio diversifier to protect his wealth over time. And while even though we can't fully read the article just quite yet, what you're seeing right here is the quote, "I like Bitcoin as a portfolio diversifier. Everybody asks me, what should I do with my Bitcoin? The only thing I know for certain is I want 5% in gold, 5% in Bitcoin, 5% in cash, 5% in commodities, and at this point in time, I don't know what I want to do with the other 80%, which is a really interesting thought. Until I see what the Fed is going to do with this whole inflation department." And here again is another one for the same note. Paul Tudor Jones says, "Go all in on the inflation trades if Feds keep ignoring higher prices." Paul Tudor Jones said he would go all in on the inflation trades if the Fed Reserve is nonchalant this week regarding consumer prices. I'd probably buy more of the things we just mentioned, and if they course correct, he continued, then you're going to get a taper tantrum. The Fed's 2-day policy meeting is scheduled to conclude Wednesday, and so we're going to see. There's a couple more articles about inflation that we were referring to a couple of days ago, but one of the things which I would like to state about inflation that you maybe should know is that it's really, really difficult to place nice inflation type of trades. So you're going to try to counter them or all that type of stuff. It's ridiculously difficult to do. What you can do to a certain degree is basically understand that all this crypto stuff, even though it might not act in a direct correlation just quite yet, or literally an inverse one, eventually it should. Because even though we all know that the stock market and Bitcoin right now move kind of on the same par, eventually I think that's going to switch. And as of this point, since they're moving together, the Fed with all this printing is going to stop if the S&P gets another huge shock. If the S&P were to get a huge shock going, they would most likely change their policy a little bit. But since the S&P and just the markets are doing quite fine, I think they're just continuing on because why not, right? What do they have to lose? Here was an article. Bitcoin pops 12% to 40K after Tudor Jones endorsement. Musk's about face on accepting crypto. This is just kind of an article that's summarizing everything. I don't know, but CNBC has a freaking ton of articles that mostly reference the same thing. Because what Elon Musk basically did is go from a little bit more of a negative stance over on on Twitter to kind of a more neutral stance. However, he's never really left Bitcoin. He's just said there's a couple of problems with them. And right now, he again reaffirmed that those problems are there, but that would be more accepting of it. And again, let Tesla accept it if they fix those problems. So can you really say that he ignored it for a little while or left the community? No. Can you really say he's been a troll? Oh, yes, sure so. And another thing which I wanted to quickly refer to is that we saw some glitch earlier today with Coinmarketcap. Basically, on Coinmarketcap, a lot of altcoins were falling drastically, and the entire market cap all of a sudden only had a market cap of about $500 billion instead of 1.7 trillion, which was interesting. Let's call it like that. Tether took on the value of about 1 cent or so, and a lot of guys were also noticing it. They did that with mine as well. My exchange didn't glitch. I'm not exactly sure what that's supposed to refer to. Here's another guy who also made a screenshot. You can see, kind of funny. Some coins didn't fall at all, but Cardano, for example, fell halfway there. Dogecoin divided by 3 as an example, and so forth and so on. Tether going to, oh, this one is actually fixed. It says $1, but it did fall 98%, so that's kind of funny. Yeah, a lot of panic in there, all right? A lot of freaking panic. Here's the price as well on Coinbase as well. Look at that, guys. Huge glitch over on Coinbase. XRP price all the way to 19 pence. Let's quickly see if there's somebody else sharing something. Maybe it's also important to quickly say here that Binance and Coinmarketcap are together because Binance bought Coinmarketcap a couple of years ago. Make sure you understand that it might be so that if it's wrong on Coinmarketcap, might also be wrong on Coinbase. Somebody here said as well, today glitch that almost gives me a heart attack. Coinmarketcap actually replied to him saying, hello, we apologize for the inconvenience. We appreciate your patience and kind understanding in this matter. Yeah, but I can understand if you see all of a sudden the crypto market just dropped by 66%. Makes you think that something really big and really scary just happened, right? As if you got some crazy regulations, but no. You couldn't actually pick those cryptos up at those cheap prices. It's just a glitch. There's no confirmation of anything like that happening. And to be honest, Tether can never really come to a cent or so, the entire system would collapse. Then again, that could be what collapsed everything, right? Then again, Bitcoin, Ether, and all those would also fall. It's just strange, though, the way it worked. I'm not exactly sure how it worked or how it did, because XRP, for example, fell only 13%, while Polkadot fell 88%. Like, what is going on there? I'm not quite sure. But alright guys, that was it for today's video. Hopefully you all enjoyed it. If you did, make sure you press the like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. And I'll see you guys again in another crypto video later today. Alright, more videos are coming later today, so make sure you are subscribed with the notification bell on.